Kenyans have a voice, but our leaders choose to ignore.
Sauti yangu usikika tu saa zile wanakuja kuniomba kura hivi, lakini wakishapata mimi sioni kitu wananisaidia nacho.
We tell them the issues that are going on. Like right now, even as much as they give us an MP, we find them valueless.
Kila mahali unga iko bei kali, kila kitu iko bei kali.
We tell them the current situation, the roads, the schools, and no change is happening exactly as fast as it should happen.
Kuna wale wa juu na kuna wale wa chini. Wa hapa chini mimi naona kama sisikiki hata.
Money is trickling into the government, but we're not seeing it well spent. There's corruption.
Maisha yamekuwa juu zaidi. Sasa ni kuvumilia tu, tunavumilia.
Mimi ningetaka washughulikie watu wananchi wa kawaida ambao hawana nguvu.
Ningependa kama Wakenya wenzangu tuwe na small groups zile ambazo watu wanaweza kuwa wanatoa maoni zao na form hata tuseme kama ni chama fulani ya mwananchi huyu mdogo.
Wananchi wa Kenya wafikirie mara mbili wakichagua.
Vile ambavyo tutamweka pale, tutamchunguza kwanza, tujue huyu ametoka wapi, amefanya nini katika maisha yake na atatufanyia nini.
It is our responsibility as citizens of this country to contribute in transforming our country into a prosperous, corruption-free nation where the rule of law is observed and justice is accessible to all. Amkeni is a call to the people of Kenya to stand up for their rights and engage in democratic governance. The name was inspired by dialogue with the Wananchi, drawing from what was already a dream of our founding fathers as espoused in our national anthem.
Amkeni Wakenya is a facility, but you may also want to call it a partner because it is managed by UNDP with assistance from several donor countries and set up in such a manner to have several modalities to assist civil society organizations.
This facility, Amkeni, is going to do a great job throughout Kenya to educate rural community Kenyans to know what their democratic rights are.
The vision of Amkeni Wakenya is to contribute towards empowered, sustainable, broad-based civil society that can gainfully take part in the democratization process of this country.
This is a different facility from many more which have been established in Kenya because they go out to look for small CPOs in areas where not many people are working today in Kenya. Everybody should wake up and find out what their rights are to be able to know what individual rights, family rights, community rights are. And in doing so, we will be able to assist our people in our communities to demand their rights, not only within communities, but even at national levels.
It's very important to get nationwide support and involvement into the future of Kenya in terms of governance reforms. That's why we think it's very important for a program like this to go out in the country. We have played a very central and steering role in setting up this facility and got other donors on board who also thought it was important to support these very interesting but slightly weak organizations and get them to voice the concerns of people in the regions vis-à-vis the national reform agenda.
The lessons learned from the past has shown us that a lot of the times that NGOs, civil society organizations benefiting from the external assistance are the Nairobi-based, the big organizations. And small organizations, particularly based in rural areas, do have very, very, very few opportunities to even get to know what is available in terms of the donor assistance or UN assistance. We have made a particular effort to ensure that when we, for example, announce the grant available, to make sure that the news of availability of grant is carried throughout the country, not only through the media, like print media, newspaper, TV, or even radio. We have utilized many of the United Nations volunteers or other United Nations personnel who are working in different parts of the country, some in very remote areas, and ask them to carry this message and even help the civil society organizations to prepare the expression of interest or proposals so that their ideas will be submitted.
Many NGOs, and especially the Nairobi-based, have been promoting, have been doing the same programs all over again. What is important in this facility is that there's actually an element of innovation, and often that comes from youthful organizations that have concepts like theater, like music, like poetry. That is very interesting, because you have to get, if you want to interest the masses, you have to find ways, innovative ways to involve them. And that is what we feel very strongly about, that the organizations that are within this facility can do that. They can find ways not just to have people sitting in a room and telling them a story, but to participate.
Once you know what your rights are, you will be able to demand everything that is yours, either at the community level, just like the money that comes to our communities. Many times tunaambiwa hii pesa ni yangu, kama ni MP, kama ni wale NGOs ama CBOs ambao wamepewa pesa, wanatuambia hizi pesa ni zao, wametuletea. Lakini hapana, hizo pesa ni yako. Lazima ujue haki yako. Sisi wananchi tuko wakubwa. Kama sisi hatuko, pesa hizi hazitaweza kuja. Kwa hivyo muone wale watu wanakuja kwa community zenu, mjue hao watu ni wafanyikazi wenu, na mjue ni nini wanafanya, hizo pesa inatumikana kwa njia gani, ili muweze kutumia hiyo pesa kwa njia ambayo inaweza kuboresha nyinyi na muendelee, hasa kwa maneno ya haki zenu, kwa chama, kwa binafsi na kwa community yenu.
What is very important in the concept of democratic governance is that the duty bearers feel completely dependent on the right holders. The right holders are the ones that should make clear to the duty bearers, look, it's not only the very moment that I'm voting you in, but it's throughout that you're going to have to prove to me that my voice is important, yes. And what is very clear is that duty bearers at the moment do not realize that. They are actually quite detached from their constituencies, and that is very worrying in Kenya. Also, corruption is, of course, a phenomenon which is clearly linked to that. Corruption is being done with public money. In Kenya, it's taxpayers' money. This facility is supposed to really empower the people, the right holders, to make clear to the duty bearers, I'm watching you. And next time, I'm not going to vote you in, yes? And what is also important, of course, is that there's good alternatives for bad politicians.
jogine mar Kenya, wan raia, wane jo Kenya, onge wuon Kenya.
Amkeni. Nation building is partnership, and you have partners.